All right, hey, I want to say thank y'all for tapping back in with your boy. It's the ambassador on live and unscript, and I got my young fella, Coach Willie. I had the pleasure of working with when I went to the Bill Self Camp down in Kansas, and so before I get into all these questions and all that, I'm gonna let him give a brief introduction, and we're just gonna get it in.
Uh, yeah, what's up, y'all? Coach Willie, Lawrence, Kansas. I'm a personal skills trainer out here. Uh, I'm really young, 23, just trying to get my name out there, like I said earlier when we did our little interview. But that's a little bit about me. I'm from Lawrence, so yeah.
Okay, so man, Willie, let's start off with your journey, man. I know that Zeke, you and Zeke is brothers in a sense, you know what I mean. And before we even get into all of that, let's talk about your journey as a hooper, because I mean, like you said, you're only 23. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like I said, 23. We started when I was younger. My dad actually, we started an AAU team called Primetime Ballers.
Okay,
A bunch of local kids, a bunch of my friends. So we just started a team, and through our high school career, middle school career, we just stuck together, and that's really where it all started. At he really put like the love of the game into us, preached mental toughness, physical toughness, anything a leader would do. He just taught us to lead, like be that leader in life. You know what I mean?
right.
So like just being that, and like I said, mentioning my dad, he passed away in 2021. So
Yeah,
like starting there is when like life really hit me.
yeah,
I was in college at Auto University playing basketball at the time. I was a freshman. I was like 18, 19 around that. Uh, so when he passed away, I was still playing, but I had surgery on my foot. I had foot surgery. So going into that, it was just a lot of mental toughness because I see my dad pass away. You know, like he had a heart attack in front of my face. So that was just real hard. So I left school, which was hard for me and not only me but my family. It was
okay.
real hard. It was real hard. And like during that time, like I said, my sister actually she had a kidney failure. Probably 2 weeks before my dad passed away is when she found out. So just going through all that was real tough. And like I said, right now I'm just trying to get my name out there, uh, trying to get back to hooping, maybe skills train, something. Just get back in the love game of basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, man, that's a lot. You know what I mean? You know, my situation was definitely not the same, but I can relate in a sense because I had to bury my kids, right? So I had a daughter
Mm.
that when I was in college ended up passing away, and I had to bury her, and you know what I mean, mentally try to still stay in the game and try to use the game as an outlet in a sense, if you want to say. And then I think
Right.
probably I'm going to say, I don't know, it wasn't even within a year's time I had to bury my son. So my ex-wife at that time, you know what I mean? So I had two kids. Boom. I had to bury his son or my daughter, cremate my son. And so you try and talk about mentally toughness, you know what I mean, to try
Yeah.
to fight through and get through. And so at that time, I think I was like 25. So think about it, you're even younger going through and you seeing your dad, you know, what I mean, like your hero, you know what I mean, that
Yeah.
passes in front, your sister's going through. And so for you to try to navigate through life and still try to hoop, and you had a surgery, you know what I mean, to try to
Yeah.
overcome that, that is a lot to try to, um, man, where are we at? Hold on. Let me pull myself back. To try to navigate through all of that. And so two ambassadors on here today. Okay, I got two of them. All right, we get one of them off. But um, you know what I mean? So to go through all of that and now, like I said, that it took you what, probably 18, 19, about 3, 4 years, I guess. to get back to trying to get back into the game?
Yeah, it took a
Can
while,
you
and
hear me?
like, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm gonna have to start over. Oh man, there we go. I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay, but you can't see me.
Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, so um, but man, as I'm trying to get this thing back on point here, let me see where we at. Da, 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 da. At the studio. There we go. Oh, I showed me like 3 times, but um, so in that, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so in that, what man, that process, how were you able to overcome this? You know what I mean? To get to where you are now, to in a sense find your way, like what's next, because I know mentally, emotionally, to go through all of that, and honestly as a young man just really starting off in life, you know what I mean, to lose all of those, you're a major figure in your life, you're seeing your sister going through, it's a lot that mentally, emotionally that you have to go through and then probably take on, you know what I
Right.
mean? So how were you able to get through that?
Well, like you said, it was I had to take on a lot, and I don't think I was prepared for it. Honestly, uh, I thought I was, but I wasn't. Uh, my mental, it really wasn't there. Can you hear me?
Wait, hold on. Let me do this. Let me start over because I cannot even hear you. Let me
Yep. Yep.
kill this. Six days. I'm like, okay, come on. I don't know why it's tripping. No, it's gonna be a good interview when you sit there,
Yeah.
technology having issues like this. I'm like, come on, I wanna get back into it. There we go. Let's get back into this conversation. I like it. Okay. May have to jump on my other phone. Solo. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. There we go. I had to restart the whole system. All right, man.
You good?
Okay, so going back, picking up, like I said, you know, how did you get over? You know what I mean? And I'm sure you're not fully over the situation, like you said. You're coming out of it. What was your driving point, or what was it to help you to get at least to this point where you're now becoming a trainer or a coach, or really trying to get back in life and just find your way?
Um, Honestly, it was a lot to take on at first, like everything that went on. But like, I thought I was prepared for it, but I wasn't. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
But my dad always told me, lean on your support system. So that's what I did. I leaned on some of my best friends because, like, some of my dad's friends told me, like, they be there for me, hit me if you need anything. They never did that, you know?
yeah,
So I just used my support system, which was my friends. Uh, Really, who I would say saved my life is my best friend, my brother, who I call my brother, who he calls me his brother, is Zeke Mayo. He saved my life. Uh, it was just a couple conversations where it's like, man, you got to change. Like, and I seen he was going through some stuff up at South Dakota State University, just basketball wise. So I moved out to South Dakota, and when I moved out to South Dakota, that really changed my life. A small town called Brookings, South Dakota.
yeah,
Probably never heard of it, but it's it was fun. It was fun, and it really changed my probably whole outlook on life because like I just knew Lawrence, Kansas, really, and like Lawrence isn't anything big, but neither was Brookings. But it was just a change of scenery. So I just was out there with me and my best friend. Had to adapt to a new situation, and that really just motivated me, and that's what I needed, some motivation, because I lost my motivation, you know.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, and that's major, and now I definitely understand the bond that you and Zeke share. You know what I mean? I know it's growing up, childhood friends, and going through just life, but a situation like that, you know what I mean? Like you said, as he's going and he's playing, like I said, at that time, mid major on his
Yep.
way, D1 to about to be pro. But along that journey, he never left you. You know what I mean?
Never.
Especially in your lowest time. But he, what I mean, he grabbed you and said, yo, let's do it together. And so that right there speaks, what I mean, so much value. I haven't had the chance to meet Zeke, and I look forward to meeting him and talking to him one day. But just hearing that, I just have mad love and mad respect for that, because you don't have a lot of people in life that would do that for you. You know what I mean?
Right. And
And
he
so,
he he really like I said, when I say saved my life, like not a lot of people understand that. Like he really saved my life. Like I was in a dark mental spot. You know what I mean? Just with everything going on, it was a very dark mental spot. Like my mom seen me in a place she's never seen me before, telling me like, Willie, this isn't you. Like you need to do something about this. And so that's why like I'll never like leave his side. I hope he'll never leave my side, which he won't. But
yeah,
it's just like, man, I don't know. Like it's not even about basketball or who he is. Just people don't do that. That's a
right.
real genuine person.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Set basketball aside, and that's the part too, right? Because he's on his journey, and
Right.
he's doing his thing, and so instead of you get a lot of people like, yo, it's more or less it's about me, right? I got to take care of me. I got to do this and that. But his focal point was you, his
Right.
boy. You know what I mean? His brother, and like, yo, we gonna do this together. And so that you know what I mean? When I'm sitting here like just really create a bond that's just crazy, right? So
Yeah.
in that, when you went to, you said South Dakota.
Yeah. South Dakota State University is where he went. It's in Brookings, South Dakota.
How was that journey? When you got there, and just being able to see the because you've been able to see parts of the game that a lot of us don't get to see. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So, how was that part? Just even in that being a support system, even for him to get through that. What did you learn, and what kind of things you saw there?
So I learned that there's levels to this. A lot of different levels, like
Yeah.
strength, quickness, all that explosiveness, IQ. There's levels to everything. Like I learned, like you got to perfect your craft. You can be good
Okay.
at everything, but if you perfect something that's perfect, I feel like any coach is gonna love that, especially if you're a great defender, great ball handler, your IQ's out the roof, a great shooter. Every coach can use something that someone's great at. And
Yeah.
up at South Dakota State, everybody wasn't the most talented. You know what I mean? But they were all good or great at something at one thing, or but could do everything, but was great at one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I just learned like basketball is a tough sport, but people make it harder than it is. If you just and listen and learn, just try hard, play hard, do whatever, and learn and listen to your folks, like they're gonna steer you the right way. But Coach Henderson at South Dakota State, that's a real genuine guy. He's at Drake University now, but
Okay.
he that's a real stand-up guy. That's all I can say. He runs a good program.
No, that's good. You don't
Yeah,
hear a lot of that, especially when you start getting to, like I said, there's levels,
yeah,
and
there's
even in the
levels.
levels, it's a business,
It's a
right? So
mhm.
that part too, right? A lot of those coaches and things like that, they're making the best decision
Yeah,
business wise, and it's not always about the players. So to hear you speak highly of the coaches is a major piece too, right? I think that
yeah, because
that's
he kind of like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but he
no, go
treated me
ahead.
like kind of like a son. You know what I mean? Like a like he really treated me good up there. I'm not gonna lie, he treated me good. Just
Yeah.
I'm Zeke's best friend, and me and Zeke, we didn't live together. I had my own apartment, so
Okay.
like that was good too. We weren't together every day, so like all that stuff. Just South Dakota was a great time, and I feel like the people is what made it a great time. You know what I mean? Because I was
Right.
surrounded by good people, and that was the main focus of me and Zeke's conversations. Where you got to surround yourself around the right people. Because when I was in my dark spot, that's what I wasn't doing. I was
Okay.
surrounding myself around the wrong things, the wrong crowd.
Right.
Once I got away from that, it's when my life started just going up.
No, I can I can see that. Like your
Yeah,
company really matters, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And like you said, who you surround yourself, that's the influence you're gonna have. That's gonna,
hmm
either it's gonna encourage you to do the right thing or it's gonna encourage you to do the wrong, whatever it may be. And so once you all left South Dakota, um, you got to Kansas. You came back to Kansas. How long Zeke been there? What, 1, 2 years?
He
What?
was there a year just for his senior year.
Okay.
Yep.
And so it looked like he did his thing. You know what I mean? I came down there, I seen the kids going crazy, Zeke, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Tell, call your brother, call, and
Yep.
that was a pretty cool experience. Like for myself, I'm an outsider coming in to this, like, this is one of the biggest schools, when it comes to basketball and just the whole area, the county, just the love is crazy. And so to come in there and to be with these kids and see the atmosphere was for me, it was on a whole nother level as a
Yeah.
coach, player, person. It was just dope to see. And so to see the kids and everybody, Zeke, and Coach Willie, the love was there. Uh, Man, so how have like the year at Kansas, how was that year for y'all?
It was okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was okay.
Okay.
Could have been better. He
Okay.
played very well, but it was just coming back home because we're from Lawrence, Kansas.
Okay.
We expected a lot more,
Yeah.
and it really didn't exceed up to the expectations. But that's how life goes. It's just how are you going to bounce back,
Right.
And I think that's what I don't know if he knows this, but he needs to know. That's how you bounce back. Like, come on, how you going to bounce back? So we gonna see how he bounces back. Draft process coming up, all that. Uh, he's been working out with some teams, so I've just been here in Lawrence, Kansas, training some people. I got a couple JUCO players now, NAIA players. Just got my first person who's trying to go overseas, so it's been good.
And I'm about to say, I feel like, because I'm also a trainer, coach, all of those things. But one of the advantages that I would have to say that you have, which is pretty dope, is you had a chance to see the inside and know the different levels, right?
Yeah,
So as a young man who have the ability still to hoop, you know what I mean, play at the next level, and and your peoples around you are in that system. So to be able to work with guys who want to go down that journey or to that next level, it's almost like you have that key that a lot of other people may not have, and that's a major advantage. How are you able to really maximize this knowledge that you have for your players?
Um, so how I'm able to maximize it is we really get into I like shooting,
Okay.
So I like working on people's jump shots because a lot of people think you need a bag. You don't need a bag. You need to learn the game. You need to be able to make shots while you're tired. You know what I mean? That's what I learned from the mid-major level, the high level, Division 1, all that. You got to be able to make shots while you're tired. You got to be able to shoot the ball, dribble the
Okay.
ball. You don't need multiple moves. You know what I mean? Like there's very little people that get into their bag, if you so want to call it. I don't know what you call it, but it's very fundamental. Everything's fundamental. They preach fundamentals.
Okay.
You got to have a high IQ. So that's what I try to preach is high IQ. And then we also talk about the business side and how NIL is changing because NIL is really on all levels. If people don't know that, but but yeah, NIL's changed the game a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Man, I love to hear some of the things because I'm really trying to low key get more into that. Of course, I have a lot of youth. I have a youth program. I'm a high school coach, and I work with players at all levels. But the NIL game, like you said, it have changed the game a whole lot. And so, what are some of the things that you learned in that game as far as NIL?
NIL. That's all I can say. It's changed a lot, man. But NIL is good in some aspects, but some players take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I feel like some players get lazy because of how much money they're making, or oh, I'm already making this much money. So because a lot of players nowadays are making more than assistant coaches. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
yeah, so it's changed the game. It's like, how am I gonna listen to you if I'm making more money than you? You know
That's a
what I
good
mean?
point.
Like if
Yep.
you're a young dude, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm making more than you to do the same thing.
Right.
That I feel like that's how some people look at it. But then there's others that are like, okay, this is like the NBA, because that's what it's kind of getting to. It's kind of like the NBA. You got the transfer portal, which is kind of like the trade block. it's
Yeah.
it's really getting to like I feel like a professional aspect is what NIL is making college basketball.
And so, I mean, and a lot of players, and I'm sure as you're getting more into the business of a trainer, a lot of players don't understand the business side, right? They
Oh,
just thinking, like you said, let me just build a bag and do all these tricks, but like keep it simple, master something, you know what I mean? And from there, you be able to have a long career just off of that
long
alone,
career.
you know? And that's what's up. And so that it's pretty dope to be talking to a young man like yourself because I'm in my 40s, right? And you're in your
Yeah,
20s, and it's something that it'd be like, oh, y'all old school. Hey, keep it simple, but it's like no, like there's a reason if you can keep it simple, you can make a bag
you can
instead
make
of
a bag. You can make a bag.
right. It's so that's the thing. So you say you got a player that's you're working that's going pro.
Yeah, he wants to go. he wants to go pro. He's worked out with a couple of other people. His name's Vicario Triplet. He's trying to go overseas right now. He just started with me probably a week ago. We've gotten some good work in. And I really don't charge people. I got a JUCO player. He also works out a couple other people, but my workouts, I like watching people's games before I work them out and see what they need to work on, or not really work on how they play. And okay, let's make a counter off how you play. You know what
Okay.
I mean? If someone likes to get downhill, let's work off counter moves getting downhill,
Yeah.
and we're still going to work on that shooting. So like with Vicario, it's counter moves, but with my other client, Corbin Dowdell, he was a lot of head over heels when he shot the ball. His head would be over his heels. So I really worked on him with his jump shot. With other trainers, he would be like getting skill moves in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's kind of what I like to do.
No, I mean, I love the, you know what I mean, the process and how you're thinking, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
from one trainer slash coach to another one, you know what I mean. I'm listening to how you evaluate, and then you come in, you say, okay, boom, let's add this, let's fix these things, but then
Yep.
let's give you a little bit more, which is going to give you that advantage or what you need to reach the goal that you're trying to reach. And so, man, so you saying you don't really charge a whole lot?
No, I really don't charge just because I'm young, trying to get in the game. So, and I really haven't been taking it as serious as I should. And but that's my fault. You know what I mean? That I like
Okay.
we were talking about earlier, the mental
Yeah.
aspect. It's
Yeah.
all about me right now and my mental. So with all this going on, I've been trying to start this AAU team down here in Lawrence, Kansas, called Primetime Ballers. It's like I said earlier, that was our program. That's what we were called.
Okay.
That's what the team my dad started, Primetime Ballers (PTB). So
Okay.
me and a couple of my other friends that used to play, I think we're gonna try to, start this program up and do some work. Try to get these kids some exposure.
When do y'all have a deadline or a date of like tryouts or you know what I mean?
So we're actually figuring that out right now.
Okay.
We're about to have our first meeting because, like I said, this is all brand new.
Okay.
My friend Bryce Johnson, one of my best friends, also, he just got done playing at NAIA school called University of St. Mary's.
Okay.
Uh, so he was dealing with his stuff. Then my other friend DK Middleton, he was playing at Haskell University. So all my friends just got done playing. So we want to give back, and I feel like this is the best way to give back is just keeping the legacy going.
No, I agree. I think it's a amazing idea, and the fact that it just for me, I love to see young men giving back to their communities, right? So,
Right.
like, I'm more, as they say, an OG, an older coach, a person that is poured in to like young men like yourself. And instead of, I guess just taking it and keeping it, you want to give it back, as they say, pay back or pay forward, however it goes. And that's one thing I loved about just when I met you. Like you was real chill, down to earth, loved the kids that loved you. You had fun, you made it fun, easy to talk to. And it's one of those things that I know as you continue to focus and really hone in on what it is that you want to do, you're going to be very successful in what you do. You know what I mean? So, man, of course, like I told you before, I'm like the lost old uncle that you ain't never had before. I'm
Yeah.
in the corner that want to be able to help you along this journey from whatever it is, if it's the AAU, any questions? Like say you got players at pro style ready. I know you got connections. I also have overseas connections and coaches that's looking for people. So being able to be a resource for you to help you in whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's one of the things like, we spoke to before and of course we reiterating it on live, in front of folks, just like, it's about really helping support your dreams and really watching you continue to take the legacy that your dad had put into you and so many other young men. Because that's another thing when I was down there, man, it was so many coaches that was coming up and was just speaking, highly of your dad and you to me.
Yeah.
from that little interview, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? So to hear you wanting to keep it going, and it's a group of y'all that's want to do it, I can only, support that,
Yeah.
And so, uh, man, what do you have? You have anything that you have coming up outside of? I know you're doing training. Are you still hooping?
I'm not currently hooping still, but I still be in the gym. I wanna go back and hoop. I want to skills train. It just it's all in God's hands. I feel like
Yeah.
whatever opportunity comes, I feel like I'm gonna be prepared for it. You know what I mean? Um, I just I don't know. Like we talked about. Like I just need that one more little push. Like let's do it. You know?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I mean, hey, like I said, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna
Yeah.
figure it. Like I said, it's a thing where I see where your heart is, and it's like what your dad was doing, pouring into the next generation, and
Right.
it's where it look like you're locked in. It's like, yeah, I can play, and that's cool, and if that happened, but you know what I mean. My focus is like. I had a chance to coach with you. I watched the little kids really coach. You know what I mean? They were
Yeah.
crazy of a coach. And so and I saw like the light how you just got excited each day in, day out, no matter what. And you know what I mean? You put me on game, you said, okay, by this day it's gonna look like this, by that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, you're right. And so that was a sort of like a cold piece that I really took away from the experience of being a part of that camp, because that was my first year.
Right.
I definitely plan on coming back next year, and we have to link up. I'm sure we're gonna link up way before next year
Yeah, for
at the
sure.
camp. But it's just something like just sharing with the viewers. They didn't. That of course it's different when you're there on the campus with the kids, hands on. Than just seeing pictures or videos. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
seriously.
so that's the thing. Just sharing with you. So man, with there's some certain homework assignments. I already we spoke, and
Yeah,
so those are the things that we definitely got to, because I want to see the logo. I want to see whatever the AAU
yeah,
logo is. I want to be able to help promote it. Your training
most
logo.
definitely.
Because one of the things that we need to do, we need to make sure you get compensated for your services. I mean, I understand you, as they say, finding your way, but at the end of the day, you're giving somebody tools, and,
Right,
and you should be getting paid for your services. And so that's one of the things where it's saying that, hey, we want to make sure that you're able to take care of yours as you happen to other people take care of theirs. You know what I mean? So
right.
we want to definitely make sure we make that happen. But man, have you talked to your boy Zeke? What he
I've
got
talked to him a
going?
little bit. Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he's going to be a big supporter behind the team, and what
Yup.
y'all got going. Yeah.
You already know. Yeah, he's gonna be as much as he can help. He's gonna be helping.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He'll be around if he can be. However he can help, he's gonna be helping.
No, that's love. How was your sister, your mom? How the family?
Uh, Honestly, not too good, but
Okay.
for the situation, great. A
Okay.
lot of people wouldn't be able to handle what we've been through and going through, But
Right.
as long as we keep leaning on God and keep being good people like we are, because our hearts, the Dotson family, we're just full of energy. We have good hearts. You know what I mean? We're just
Yeah.
people. We're people, like people
Yeah.
person, whatever you want to
Right.
call it. People are just attracted to us, especially me, like you said, the kids. Like they just everyone like all ages just are attracted to me, and I feel like can speak to me about anything. Uh, like I had a kid this week at camp. His dad came up to me, said all he was doing was talking about Coach Willie, like you just said earlier. So like just saying that and like kids coming up to me talking about Coach Willie, I had so much fun with you coaching me. Like that puts a smile on my face. So like just wanting to give back, like I said, and the family they want to see me doing good. They're all
Okay.
worried about me because I'm the baby of the family.
Okay.
So I feel like when I'm right and like my mental's right and just I'm where I want to be in life, not even want to be where I should be headed in life, is when everything will be okay with my family. You know what I mean?
Right, right. No, definitely understand. You know what I mean? And like I said, my aim is to make sure that we get you there. Right. And
Yes,
so
sir.
that's my, if you want to say, commitment. As we spoke on
Yeah.
from the camp, off the phone, up until now. And I think one of the biggest things is trying to continue to always keep your word. And that was one of the things we said, hey, we're going to do the
Yep.
podcast. And hey, not only the podcast, but I want to continue to help you on the back end. And so that's what we're going, well, what I'm going to do for you. And I'm always a resource as well to you. And so, man, before I let you go, what I would say, I always like to ask, what advice or what words of encouragement, or you would say wisdom, that you would give folks, um, that you would give people, that's on this journey or on a journey, that sort of how you had to overcome, and it's just life. It's more than basketball. This is life.
Right.
What words would you give or leave?
Uh, Honestly, it's just three words that my dad always used to preach. Honestly, uh, if you played with him or if you knew him, he said, "Control the controllables,"
Okay.
which that's that's perfect. Control the controllables. Control what you can control,
Okay.
which is hard. It's hard doing that, but once you do that, everything just starts getting into piece by piece by piece by piece. Everything starts falling into place.
Man, I love it. Hey, is there ways? Because I already know. You know, I put the other interview I did with you went over 1K real fast. You know what I mean? So you do got a lot of folks that got mad love for you, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
expecting this one is going to go over 1K, and there's going to be people that's going to be inspired. There's a lot of folks who know your story, who has witnessed, and that's the thing too, and that some of the coaches that I think Coach Benny, is that his name?
Yep, Coach Benny.
Yeah, Coach Benny. Shout out to Coach Benny. He came and
Yeah.
he spoke to me, and he sort of, you know, he told me, like I had shared with you, he saw how you lit up from our little interview that we had did, and
Yeah.
see how you're coming out of that spot. So he was around during that time, you know
Yep.
what I mean, that you was going through. And so for him to say that, and even I can see it, I didn't know you back then, but I can just see
Right.
there's a glimpse of hope, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
For
what I
sure.
mean. And so I think that that's something that's mad encouraging, and just folks being able to take your words, control what you can control, right?
Yep. Control the controllables. Control
Control
what you
the
can control.
controllables.
Yep.
Okay. And so, because you got to look at it, it's like this, there's a lot of things that honestly we can't control, and we get consumed with those things,
Yep.
right? And those are the things that take us, oof.
Oof. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those where it's saying, man, and that's one of those things I had to say. I like that, because that's something even for myself. All right, man, it's out of my hands, guys. You got to do it. It's nothing I can do. I did all I can do,
Yep.
and I can't continue to try to go down and try to figure it out, try to do this and that. It's just what it is. You know what I
It
mean? And
is
so,
what it is.
so man, how can people follow you? You have IG, or if they want to tap in with you for to get in training sessions, you know what I mean? How
Yeah.
can they reach you?
On Instagram at Willie Dotson IV. Facebook, same thing, Willie Dotson IV. Snapchat, Lil Will 06. Just tell me what you need to get in. I got some good work, man. Just I'm gonna get a little client review for y'all. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, yeah. Do a little interview, get a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
piece,
Yeah. Yeah.
show them little clips of you actually
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
workout, let them tell them what's
Yeah.
up, so we can get your numbers up. Because, like I said, what I seen, and I guess you can say I'm a veteran coach, because I've been around over a decade, coach slash trainer, and just what I saw at the camp. I would love to see what you can do, like a real workout, because those are little kids,
Right.
right? And there's different levels, different
Yeah.
ages and levels, and you got to adjust. And so a lot of folks can adjust, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, all the time. And for you, it was just dope. The kids, you kept their attention, had good games and things like that, or drills and just your movement. And what I saw when you just messing around, I was like, okay, you got a little game on him. So
Yeah.
so I definitely want to see some of your work, so we can blast it out
Yes,
to get
sir.
more folks, just tapping in with you, and keep me posted on your tryouts. Once you and your crew get the dates and all of that stuff, I want to help share that as
Yes, sir.
well. And man, I'm see we're gonna have to collaborate on something, either do a training or something out here in
Hey, most
Washington, you
definitely.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or some international. I got a couple of international plugs, Philippines, different
Yeah.
places I like to go. So I'm gonna make sure you get the passport, get some stamps, and we have to do something to collab on something.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. That sounds good.
Yes, sir. So, hey, I want to thank everybody, like for real, taking the time to tap in. It's a Friday night, y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all tapped in with us on Street Ball to Pro Live and Unscript with my man, Coach Willie. And like you said, I'm thankful now to be a part of your life and a part of your journey. And thank you for allowing me that opportunity, what I mean, to be a part, because, like you said, you got what I see, a very bright future. You know what I mean? So you stay encouraged. I want you to stay focused. Like I said, as they say, cross the T's, dot the I's. Let's stay tunnel vision, because there's goals that you want to accomplish, right? So to
Right.
continue the legacy that your dad has poured into you and so many others, we're gonna make sure that you continue not only where he left off, but even take it even further than where he did. So that's my commitment to you, and you stay encouraged, because you got so many people that's rooting for you, and I'm one of them. So
Right.
uh, thank you for taking the time, everybody, for tapping in with us. I am Coach Ashley, aka the Ambassador, and that's my man, Coach Willie D. And man, I'll be back. What's today? Today's Friday. Sunday, I'll be back on with my crew, the unit. It's my street ball family. I got my young fella, J.O. Hoops. We're going to be talking about his one-on-one event. And like I said, if you can watch this show on YouTube. If you don't see it on YouTube, shout out to my crew or my label, Ball or Blazing 420. Uh, they put all my content on all the major platforms, and I'm thankful for them, which allow me to reach the masses. Without them, you know what I mean, I still be trying to get my numbers and get it out there.
Yeah.
But thank God for them, for picking me up. So hey, tap in with us. Until next time, I'm out. Appreciate you, Will.
Man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna hit you. We'll catch up this weekend.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night, boss.
All right. You too.
Okay.
Yep.